All right, on the phone I have as Buddy, the lead singer of Senses Fail. How you doing, man?
I'm doing really good. How about yourself?
Good, good, good. So this year is the 10th anniversary of Senses Fail. When you first started this band, did you ever think you would hit this milestone? Because I think it's very hard to do that in this age of the music industry.
Yeah, I mean, that was the goal. The goal when we first, started getting into stuff more formally was I want to stay around as long as possible. I want to do this for a long time, and I think we made decisions with that in mind, so we could, basically be around for this long. So I'm excited this happened, but it was a goal. I didn't really, things happen, and there were definitely points where I thought it wasn't, definitely going to end, or we weren't going to make it this far, but we did. I'm psyched.
Oh, very cool. Anything special planned for the 10th anniversary?
We got a bunch of stuff we're going to announce here pretty soon. We got a couple things, and then we got some stuff in the fall planned. So we got some things here and there.
Will there be maybe a special show, maybe past members performing, such as Glitta and Heath coming, or I can see maybe a show at the Starland.
Yeah, probably not. Anything with past members or anything like that, but we're definitely going to do some stuff like that in the future. Yeah.
Okay. It was recently announced that Senses Fail will be on the 2012 edition of the Warped Tour. Was there any hesitation to do the Warped Tour? Because I remember in 2009 you were very vocal with some of the bands that were on that tour that year.
There's a lot of great bands on it. I think there's a lot of really, really good bands that we're friends with, and the stage we're on is going to be really cool. And I'm just real excited to be around. I think that a lot of these smaller bands, they're up and coming now. I think people are starting to get really into, and I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be kind of part of that. And I think the stage role is great. I mean, yeah, there's a couple bands on this year that are just, you know what? Now it's not as, to me, with some of those bands that are coming out a couple of years ago, I couldn't believe I'd never heard stuff like that. I'd never heard stuff that was so just bad. Now I'm almost just used to it. So it's not as, I hear it and I'm like, yeah, that sucks, but you know what? And it's completely done for the wrong reasons. But you know what? It's not as shocking. So
it's
so it doesn't really shock me anymore. But there's a couple bands on this year. But you know what? I think there's so many good bands, and Kevin Lyman knows what he's doing. He knows how to put together a tour that not just one type of crowd wants to go see, that a whole group of people want to go see. And that's just, that's what's going to happen. But I think that there's really, for the most part, people I think right now are kind of looking at the billing and kind of like, I would just tell people to wait. I mean, I know every band that's on the tour, and it's gonna be pretty fucking wild. There's gonna be a lot of good bands on it.
Yeah. I remember, you think the scene's going back to where it used to? I remember, going to, basement shows, and bands would put their own shows on. Do you think it's going back to that, almost?
Yeah, absolutely. I do. I really do. I think that you just can't make as much money. I just kind of hit its ceiling a couple, 5, 6 years ago, and it's kind of gone back down. Everything comes in cycles. So I think, you get all the Men Overboard and Title Fight and Transit and Story So Far and all these bands, Hostage Com, and all these really good bands that are kind of doing what bands did 10, 15 years ago to create a music scene. And it's kind of gone back to that, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I liked about going to shows when I was a kid, and I think it's great that's happening again.
Yeah, I completely agree. Will Senses Fail have a new album out by the Warped Tour?
No.
No, it will be maybe fall?
I don't even think we're going to have a new record in the fall. I think we're probably going to have a new record maybe 2013.
Oh, okay. Now, you also have a little side project called Bayonet. Will there be any? I know you had an EP and some music. Any new music in the future from that project?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're gonna be doing some stuff. I'm not exactly sure of the timeline, but yeah, there'll be some more music from Bayonet.
That's good. With all the touring you've done in your career, what are some of the differences between U.S. crowds versus overseas crowds?
I mean, it really depends on where you are. I mean, UK is very similar, and a lot of Europe is similar. Japan is completely different. You know, Australia is pretty similar. Japan's probably the most different. Asian countries have they react differently. Definitely, I would say Japan is definitely the most different.
Okay. This past summer, you did like a couple seminars about the music industry. What made you decide to do that?
I don't know. It's just kind of, I guess, got this opportunity to work for this school that was starting up in North Jersey, and one of my ideas to kind of get kids to know about it was like have an open house where we just kind of come in and have a question and answer, and I kind of speak about, you know, what I've been through in the music industry, and people that are trying to get into the music industry, or people that are trying to get, you know, their band signed, or it was just, I thought it was a cool way to get people to know about the school, but also just do something cool that people could come and maybe, you know, learn something that they had questions about, because it's, you know, it's, if you don't know anyone that works at a label or is, you know, had any kind of success in the music industry, there's a lot of questions and there's no real person to bounce it off of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.